It's gone. It's gone. It's back. It's gone. It's back. Isn't that exciting? I get more excited about it if I'm like, oh look, let's just put it in, let's put it into the table. Cool. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another Sunday What's the Trick. Today we're doing a little bit of a nested loop problem. We're doing bubble sort. Now this took me a while to figure out how I could explain it easily, so I chose to show you with cards, pretty much. So visually I use this card mat here to show you how bubble sort is working, and then we'll go and we'll look at the code. Because I'm a visual learner, I get lost in nested for loops, which is what this is about. So that's the topic for today. I actually have the code ready. I think it'll be better if I explain how the code is working than me focusing on writing it from scratch. And I think that will help you guys out too. I mean, I'll go over it, but before we get started, I just want to say thank you to the patrons. We have Laszlo, the Martin, Fee, Josh, and Louise right now. They're for supporting the channel. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the other patrons and just all you viewers for just watching the content. I do have a Patreon if you want to check it out. If you've never donated to someone or considered supporting someone's cause, maybe consider me the next time you do. I would appreciate that. I have a Discord. I'd love to see you in the Discord. I will welcome you. The link for the Discord is in the description below. We have a good group of people there, good community there. Everyone in the Discord is talking about, like, they keep sending me pictures of the shirts that they bought off Teespring, and like, if you're watching this video and you have a shirt, let me know that it's good quality, because I don't want to make bad quality stuff. Yeah, so that's it. If you guys want to see more videos like this, I would, gladly. It'd be awesome if you go ahead and click that subscribe button, click that bell. We do a live stream every day, and we do a video every day. So that's my promise to you guys. We're just putting out the content. I'm sorry if it overwhelms your subscriber box, but that's kind of a good thing for me. That seems like a first world problem, I'm gonna be honest. So I figured since we're doing What's the Trick Saturday with card tricks, I would just go ahead and show you visually what this looks like with the cards. And so I know that I'm a visual learner. I really need to see things, and I console log everything in my code usually if I don't know what's going on. And so since this bubble sort does require a nested loop, well, maybe you could write it some other way, but in my version we're using a nested loop, and I think it would be helpful if I showed you guys visually. So you can think of this as an array of numbers, and the bubble sort has two loops in it. The first loop starts at 0, goes all the way up to 9, or this isn't 9 cards, but it starts at index 0 and it goes all the way up to the last index. And the second loop starts at index 0 and goes all the way up, and then it does it a few times over and over and over. So let me show you what I mean. So the first one says, all right, first loop. The second loop says, okay, start at index 0. We're starting here at 10. Is 10 greater than 8? Yes, it is. All right, so you can see 10 greater than 9. Yep. Bubbles up. Yep. So that was our first, we did the inner loop, however many cards we have here. So we have 7 cards. So we did the inner loop 7 times. Now we're going to do the outer loop and start over again, because these are still not in perfect order. So 8 and 9. No. 9 and 7. Yes. 9 and 5. Yep. 9 and 3. 9 and 6. Fantastic. So now we're going to loop up to this position. Start again. Anyways, so you can see that is how the bubble sort works, and now it ends up all being sorted. Now I am missing some numbers because they don't all fit on the screen here, but hopefully this helps you visualize what's going on in the actual code too. See how they all bubble up to the top, I guess. Generally speaking, they go from lower to higher. You could flip-flop that if you wanted to. But yeah, let me show you what that looks like in code now. All right, so here we have the function for a bubble sort, and to do that you need an array that's unorganized, and we're using variable here. I know I can see, why don't you use let? I get it. We're just going to use variable now. Just keep things simple. Let has its own scope stuff, and I don't want to confuse people, so we're going to use variable. But we need an array that's unorganized, so that's what we have up here on line 2, an unorganized array of integers, and then we have a function that's going to take this array as an argument there. And so after that we have our variable array length. So this is just, as you know, in JavaScript, arrays start with an index of 0. So this would be 0 all the way up to 9. And So I know it's a little bit counterintuitive, but there are 10 items here. We just start at 0. You just don't do that in everyday life. So we have our first loop. I'm calling this the first loop position, or our outer loop, as you could think of it. And then we have our inner loop. So to write the loop, we have first loop position starting at 0, right? And then first loop position, we're going to loop over the entire array from 0 all the way to 9. So from here to here, we're going to do this 9 times, because that's, well, we're going to do it 10 times, but we're starting at 0. So this number would convert to 9. Okay, and then we have our second loop here. We have our for loop, our inner loop, so to speak, and we're going to actually start at 0 inside of the array, which is what this 0 means. Then we have our second loop position. We're going to loop all the way up to index 9. Same thing. And then I'm console logging the output here. And so, as you can see, if you look up here, it's 9 and 2. Those would be our first starting numbers where we're starting at. So 9 is greater than 2. Therefore, we would replace this with 2 and replace this with 9. And so that's what these 3 lines of code are doing here. We're setting, let me Control Z that. We're setting this 9 to a temporary variable here on line 25. And then we are overriding 9 with 2. And then we are changing 2 back to our 9. That's what these lines of code do. So I'm going to revert that back. And then I have an else statement. This wasn't actually included. I just wrote this else statement here. I mean, when I say included, like, you don't have to write it out. I just included it so that you could see what happens when the if condition is false, and so I could console log it for you. So let me show you what this looks like inside of the console. Forgot to grab the actual invocation of it. So as you saw with the cards here, you can see it starts with 9 and 2. All right, so there it goes. 9 moves up 1, and you can read this text if you want. I'll up the size. So my dogs just lost their stuff. As you can see, he came to see the bubble sort array. Hey, little dude, how's it going? So as you can see here, we start with 9. The 9 moves up again because it is, and then we loop again inside the inner loop. 9 moves up again. We loop inside. 9 is greater than 4. We move up. 9 is greater than 3. It moves up. 9 is greater than 7. It moves up. 9 is not greater than 10, so it doesn't move. We don't replace the numbers here, but we still keep looping and we still keep going forward, which is what you can see here. So then we compare the numbers 1 and 10. So 1 and 10. And so 10 is greater than 1, and so then you replace the numbers as you can see here. And then we're comparing 8 and 10 is greater than 8, so we replace the numbers here. And so that's it. That's our first outer loop. And so now you can see outer loop count number 1, and then we do it again starting from here, and we go all the way up. So this guarantees that this n number is going to be the greatest because you're starting from the beginning, and if it's bigger than all these other numbers, it's going to make it here at the end no matter what. And so now we rinse and repeat this process a few more times, approximately 9 more times, and then I mean, you can see here in the console log, I've wrote it out. It's a little bit confusing. We're comparing 5 and 2, so 5 and 2, you can see that, nope, it doesn't work, so we compare 5 and 6, nope, doesn't work, so we compare 6 and 4, nope, doesn't work, I think down here, yeah, 6 and 4, yeah, I mean, so actually, yes, that does work, and so then those get ordered in 6 and 3, yep, so those get swapped, 6 and 7, nope, but we compare 7 and 9, that's how this bubble sort function works. I know if that's confusing to you, I'll post this on my GitHub. You can copy and paste it, or I'll put like a paste bin link in the description, and you can copy and paste it and add way more console logs if you so choose to do. I think I mean that's what I did. I added them everywhere it didn't make sense. If you get lost in nested for loops like I do, then console logging and spacing these out so they look like they're not close, and don't use naming conventions that make sense. Don't use I and J like you'll see on Stack Overflow. Use stuff that makes sense, right? This is our first outer loop. This is our second inner loop. That's what I named it, and I think that helps make sense to me. And so that's what I would recommend that you do. I know this isn't the most optimal way. I know someone's going to post a comment. I know you can use recursion to do this and all that other stuff, but this was the more simple way for me to be able to explain this to you guys, so that it would make sense. Now, you can Stack Overflow, bubble sort, and you'll come up with a whole bunch of solutions, but this is a pretty popular whiteboarding question to be able to explain that logic that's going on there. So I hope this was helpful. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. Leave a comment below. I know you're going to tell me what I did wrong anyways, or what I didn't explain quite right, but I'm learning every day just the same as you guys. So if you did enjoy this, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell, and I'll see you next Saturday for more What's the Trick?